Well, hello everyone. I'm Nicholas Skinner with Skinner Games, and you are here for another episode of Retro Role Playing, where we play through a ton of old school systems, some new stuff, and maybe some stuff that'll be released in the future. Tonight we're playing the Cthulhu Hack. Dun, dun, dun. This game is by Just Crunch Games, and it's pretty stinking amazing. It is based off of the Black Hack OSR rule system release, so it is an old school Renaissance game. For those of you who don't know what OSR is, it's people who have taken the old original rules for Dungeons and Dragons and have usually fiddled with them in some way and released them to their own content. There's a lot of really amazing games out there. Black Hack and the Cthulhu Hack off of that are some of them. This one obviously is based on the writings of H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu being kind of in the name of the title. And it is about investigation. For those who may not know what Cthulhu is, it is a series of writings, mythos is what's usually called the Cthulhu mythos, by a man named H.P. Lovecraft around the 1920s. I think is when he started. I'm not quite sure when he ended up finishing. I can't remember the last story he wrote. But it is about really super creepy outer space monsters, for the most part, and lots of other things, weird dream visions and magic stuff, doing creepy stuff, and people investigating into those. If you want to read up on the Cthulhu mythos, some of the best ones are The Shadow over Innsmouth and The Call of Cthulhu. Those are two of my favorites. Rats on the Wall is probably my favorite story, but that isn't really connected with any of the other mythos per se. So there's some three short stories. I think Shadow over Innsmouth is technically a novel, but 3 short stories for your perusing and reading during this October Halloween season. But we're not just talking about that and putting in a plug for H.P. Lovecraft, which is awesome. But we are talking about Cthulhu Hack. So this is actually a significantly different game than what most people are used to for D20 games. And we have 3 of our players here. Tim, you read up on this a fair amount, did you not?
I thumbed through it over the last hour, and then I put a character together. So
okay. So what did you glean about what was different? Yeah, what did you glean from your readings on the system? So it's interesting talking about
it. So the vocabulary is a little bit different from how they do like the standard D26 stat thing. They call them saves instead of stats. So whenever you do anything, you make a save for the appropriate attribute.
Right. Then, so you're only making rolls when you're taking damage of some kind. So if you're taking, some physical damage, or you need to like you're in melee combat or you're getting shot at or whatever, you make a strength test to avoid getting hit in melee and a dex test to avoid getting hit by some ranged weapon or an explosion or whatever. Wisdom to try and save your sanity and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then the other thing is if you roll a 1 or a 2 on basically any of them, then your die goes down. Like the size of the die starts falling down.
That's a little thing different.
Flashlights and smokes.
Yeah, the usage die is what that is, and that comes out of the Black Hack, which is an interesting thing. So in this game you have abstract resources, flashlights and smokes. Flashlights are what's like academic tests, and smokes are what's the word? Social tests. And as you investigate for things, you will be using these flashlights and smokes to be able to. You always get the clue, but eventually you will run out of them, which is what Tim was talking about. They reduce in size. So you start out with like a D8 worth of smokes, and if you roll a 1 or a 2 on the D8, then it goes down to a D6 and a D4. And once you're out, you won't find any more clues for that game session per player. So it's not like, one person has 8 and then you're all screwed, because that would suck. All right, what other things did you learn? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all right. For how simple it was, there was a surprising amount of information that went behind everything. I don't remember clearly really all of it, but It looked pretty simple.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's a really quite easy game to pick up. I mean, the whole thing. Yeah, here it is. It's just this little pamphlet. It's about 44 pages, I think. Is it less than that with the character sheet? No, it's about 44 pages, and then page 43 is the open license agreement. So it's 42 pages of actual information, and it's just not. It's not very complicated. You can pick it up and play it in an afternoon, which is pretty much what we're doing. I've had it for a long time and I've been reading up on it, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to run it correctly, because this is the first time I've ever actually played through a real horror game. I mean, I've played video games and stuff, and I've sat in on Cthulhu games, but I've never actually run one myself. So we'll see how that goes. I usually throw horror elements into the games that I play, but a full-on, straight-up horror game is going to be a new experience for all of us. In addition to the fact that in horror games, props is a big thing usually. So it's sending letters, having visceral things that the players can hold and grab and to experience. At least that's been my experience playing like the Call of Cthulhu, the actual Call of Cthulhu game by Chaosium. But we don't have the privilege of that online, so this is going to be extra entertaining. Tim, did you get the email that I sent with the letter in it?
I did.
Cool. Is your wife joining us?
She's trying to. I might actually have to step out here for, I don't know how long, just to help her get the kids down.
Okay, that's fine. Let me
I'm actually,
know when...
just before I get going too far, I gotta let you know I'm actually talking through my phone right now.
Super good.
So, yeah, I had to step off into our spare room.
God, I wish we had a spare room.
So,
this is not the spare room.
Yeah, it's our hobby room. I could even show you right now.
Fancy. See, everybody needs a
hobby
room. I am much jealous. Yeah. Envious. Envious is the correct word. Okay. So I sent an email to one of our last players who doesn't seem, I haven't heard anything from him today, but he was supposed to be making it. We'll see what happens to him. In the meantime, we will start with the 3 players that we have in front of us. So introduce yourselves, guys. Introduce your players, or your characters, who you're playing, and let us know what you've thought about the character creation process, those of you who actually went through it. Tim, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, I thought character creation was actually, it was pretty quick. I did this over, like I said, over the last hour, and there really isn't a whole lot. You pick a class, and then under the class, there's different types of professions you can work. You can roll dice to score it, or you can just choose off the list. So I went ahead and chose the scholar class, more specifically the linguist under that one. So this was fun. I drew up this character bio just a couple minutes ago. I'll be playing the character Melvin Stone, who lives in Long Island, New York. He works as a linguistic consultant for Princeton University. He owns a cat named Hector. Traveled to Egypt, Peru, Italy, and Finland by the age of 30. He's 35 right now. Bodybuilds as a hobby, because his strength score ended up being 17.
Oh, crap. A linguist with a strength score of 17.
Yeah, he bodybuilds as a hobby along with rowing and fishing. Played baseball in college. Single. So no family.
No family, so nobody to miss him.
Nobody to miss him. He's basically lost himself in his work.
Nice. All right, Joe, who are you playing?
All right, I went ahead. I took one of the characters you suggested. I did read through, and I saw a lot of characters look like fun, but I'm going to go ahead and play as Donald Anders. And I've decided he's a ruffian, a charlatan, but that's sort of the same type theme I'm always playing as a rogue type character. So I'm sort of curving this one away from the rogue a little bit. I'm a bartender of a speakeasy in the suburbs of New York there, armed with stuff I've confiscated during my shifts.
Nice.
That's about all there is.
I love it.
No.
I am Jack Hart, private investigator.
Jack Hart?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going for Sam Spade. I was trying to think of another suit.
Sam Spade.
Yeah.
Nice.
Clubs didn't really work, and So anyway.
Oh, I like Jack Hart. That's good.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a revolver, a trench coat, a trilby, and a string of failed affairs.
Nice. Okay, you said
That's not like me in real life, honey.
Yeah. No, I'm well aware. String of failed affairs. Wow. Okie dokie.
And he sucks at investigating as well.
He sucks at investigating too.
Everyone started off with smokes of D4.
You're a bruiser, right?
Yeah.
No, not everybody.
It seems like an oversight for the private eye to not be able to investigate very well. I don't know.
Well, they can't investigate well. You just.
I won't.
I mean, it's a 50-50 chance.
Won't investigate well.
Yeah. The scholar gets the most. They get a choice actually between three. They can either have a D8 or D8 flashlights or D12 smokes, D10 or D10 or D12 or D8.
Wow.
So that's kind of neat.
So that's
Yeah,
what
well, there's a scholar.
I took the D12 D8 package.
Yeah, you got to know stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to do this. Melvin Stone, in your travels abroad, you met a man named Colin Murphy, and became pen pals eventually. He was a private investigator, or not a private investigator, he was a detective, rather, in a town called Riverton, which had an undetermined location, but will now be a far-off suburb of New York. It is a port town. Not quite as big, obviously, as New York, but people still stop by. Donald Anders, you are related to this detective, Colin Murphy, in some undetermined way, some distant cousin of some sort. Jack Hart, you are also related to Colin Murphy, who is a much more successful investigator than you are. Okay. So as I said, you guys start out in this small town of Riverton. It is toward the tail end of the Roaring '20s. The market hasn't crashed yet. None of that stuff has happened. It is the height of the Jazz Age, the Gilded Age, some other people have called it. You have arrived at a specific house along, not too far from the boardwalk, actually, of Riverton. It is a brick house along a section of a number of other brick houses. Those ones that are, very connected to each other. It's a nice looking place. Doesn't look really run down. It looks like Mr. Murphy, who has summoned you all, has kept up his house rather well. You go in to find his solicitor is sitting in the front room. You have been called because Mr. Murphy has met an untimely demise. Left a letter for all of you to hear his last will and testament. He has asked that Melvin Stone read his letter to his family. And why don't you go ahead and do that now, Melvin, since you have the actual letter.
All right. It's on my email. I gotta pull it up. Hang on.
That's okay. So as Melvin undoes the envelope and begins to kind of read it to himself before it opens up and he begins to read it aloud, you see that the night is coming on. It is early evening, so it's getting not quite dark, but the sky is starting to turn that purpley color. It's a nice crisp fall evening. It's the wind, cool wind is coming off of the ocean to kind of cool down the front boardwalk really well. Mr. Murphy did pretty well for himself as a detective. Do you have the letter pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna get in character.
That's okay. Do that.
My beloved family and friends, If you are reading this, you must have been informed of my murder. In spite of my best efforts, I have been constantly dogged by some shadow that seemed to lurk only at the edge of my vision. Whenever an attempt is made to spy the villain, it seems to disappear. I know what it wants, and its origin, but I must rely on you and your individual skills to convince the world of what I suspect. Collecting these clues will fraught with danger, and I hope the gentler of you do not swoon in this quest. There will likely be little to indicate who I believe to be the officiator of my recent end, but you must tie Silas Morn, Riverton's own philanthropist, to it. He is not what he displays in his public life. I believe his crimson wall a harbinger to some sinister plot. Although validation still escapes me, the escalation in grisly murders and disappearances has reached a zenith since his arrival in town. Please, for the souls of all in our small town, find some connection to Morn, that God's justice might, might be some upon him. I go soon to my rest. Farewell, my loved ones. Respectfully, Colin Murphy.
Oh, he loved us.
His solicitor looks over at you, kind of bewildered a moment, and then says, "This is the only thing that we have to give you. This letter and this key." And he'll hand you this long, thin key with the inscription 51745 written across the top of it. And he says, "This key, we know, leads to a lockbox at First Bank, 3 blocks off to the east. My duty as his solicitor has now been fulfilled. I thank you, gentlemen, for your time."
What were those numbers again?
51745.
51745. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes. It's written
All right,
on the
good.
key, so you can look at it.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay. After having given your letter, he stands up and he says, "Are there any more questions? Then I bid you gentlemen good day." And he'll pull out a pipe and light it as he walks out of the door, and leave the 3 of you sitting in Detective Murphy's sitting room to discuss your next action.
Well, I suppose we should go to the bank.
I have no problem going there.
Is that the plan? Go to the bank first?
That's
I'm
what
writing
I'm
down
thinking.
notes. Give me a
I mean,
minute.
it's the first and obvious key and clue, but
Yeah. This is Colin's house, right?
yes.
Can I go look in his room?
You may go look in any of his rooms. It's not a large house, but it is a 2-story home. 3-story home with an attic. The first floor is your typical late Victorian style house. So it's each room is its own actual room. There isn't really a big hallway. It's not a really open floor plan. You're in the sitting room. Beyond you is a small study. There is a kitchen behind that, and sort of like a mud room kind of off to the left of the kitchen. If you go up the flight of stairs, you'll get to the first and only bathroom. On the upper floor there, and there will be through two other rooms, his room and the guest room.
And then an attic.
And then the attic, which is a pull-down set of stairs in the hallway between the master bedroom and the guest room.
I'm gonna look at Jack and I go, Jack,
Yeah?
you're sort of an investigator too, aren't you?
Yeah, sorta.
No, I didn't get those skills from the family. So, do you think maybe we should be looking around?
Well, if there's no one here to stop us, why not?
I'm gonna go search.
Do we know how he died?
You know he died in his home.
Okay, well, yeah, well, then definitely we should take a look around.
But the manner of his death was concealed by the police, as in they not like hidden, but that they would not tell anyone the manner in which he died.
Do we know what room or anything? I guess we should look around. See if there's some police tape. 1920s police tape. It's in black and white.
It's in black and white. Nice. Chalk outline. Do not cross. Yes. There wasn't a lot of information released about where he was killed. And the only paper clipping that you saw announcing his death before you got the contact was a notice saying that he expired in his home, and it was this very small footnote essentially of his passing. Even though he was quite a well-to-do detective, did his job rather well, and even though Riverton is a nice enough town, there's it having a port can have some seedy people inside. So, where do you intend to go first? So we had somebody going upstairs to look in his bedroom, and then, as I said, there was a study, a kitchen, and a mudroom on the bottom floor, in addition to the sitting room, which you're currently in, and then the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom upstairs without the attic, which is its own space, obviously.
Well, I can take this study.
I'll take the
Probably
attic.
some lettuce or something in there.
Okay, so everybody's splitting up.
No, that's the best thing to do is split up the party.
Let's play a horror game. Let's split up the party.
At least we're all in the same house. I mean,
Have you not watched any horror movies in existence ever?
it's not a haunted mansion, dude.
Well, wait, someone was killed here, so this could be haunted.
Oh, well, now.
Well, I guess since Nolan, you said you were taking the attic.
Yeah.
Okay. Since the study is on the first floor, Melvin Stone will talk to you first. Okay. So as Donald and Jack make their way upstairs, Melvin, you walk your way down a little bit to the hallway and take your first right and walk through to his study. The study is, I mean, it's not super huge, but it's a nice, big enough room. There is a wingback chair sitting off a little bit to your left when you enter. There is one wall lined with books. As you kind of glance, you'll see some of the volumes. There are a number of normals, novels, your Jonathan Swift that you'll see there. You'll see, some, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Some Hans Christian Andersen. You'll see your Dickens, stuff like that. You also see some scientific novels that talk about how to use science to deduce, not just through Sherlock Holmes style, which he also has a number of those novels, but like legitimate hardcore science books. There's a globe. There's some other knick-knack things, some paperweights. Off to near in front of a tall window, there is his desk, which is a nice red burnished mahogany. The room smells very heavily of cigar smoke when you walk in. There is a nice side table with some delicious looking port that you quickly walk over and sample and know that it is quite good. so he had decent taste, and that is what meets your gaze.
All right. I think the first order of business is to check the desk.
Okay, so as you approach the desk, you'll notice that there's a pad of paper, an ink well, and a pen, because he likes to be a little bit fancy. Because at this point they did have internal ink cartridges and pens and things. But he likes to go old-fashioned to some degree. It looks like there is nothing, no note or anything written on the paper pad, but the chair is missing. He doesn't seem to have a chair behind his desk at all. There are drawers that you check, and they seem to be empty at first glance.
Anything else about the room?
Are you looking for anything specific?
Not really, just things that might be out of the ordinary.
Not from what you can tell. I mean, it doesn't even look like the glass is broken on the window, so it doesn't seem like anybody broke in through this room. That doesn't mean it couldn't have been any other room down on the first floor or any of the others. But other than the lack of chair behind the desk, you don't really see anything that's out of the ordinary. And for all you know, he could just move the wing-back chair underneath. But so there's one seat that's a few feet away from the desk, and then there's the desk, and then.
Now you said there was a side table.
Yeah.
I want to look there.
Okay. Underneath, it's a couple of pull-out doors. You'll see a bunch of other kinds of alcohol, some more spirits. There is a drawer that you pull out, and it's got a bunch of accoutrements for such spirits, like a bottle opener and things like that. Corkscrew.
So, fix it.
I'm going to take the corkscrew.
I'll take the corkscrew. Okay.
All right. I think I'm going to join my compadres upstairs.
Okie dokie. So you make your way upstairs. Oh, Nolan. You're making noise.
Pardon?
Oh, you can just hear you banging around.
I dropped the hammer.
It's okay. I'm looking for the mute button. Oh, I can't remember which one it is. No, I don't want to screen share. Don't screen share! Don't do it! Oh, I hit the button. Oh, and now it's going all crazy. Don't do it. That's the one I want. So if anybody wants to do that, I can just mute them again. Okay. All right, so you start walking up the stairs. Your compatriots have already made it up there and have been investigating as you've been looking around. It's taking you probably 15, 20 minutes to kind of do a quick check of this room. Like scrub it. Didn't really take that long. Donald. Sorry, I was trying to remember what name belonged to who. Yeah. So, Donald, you make it to the master room. Correct. That's the one you wanted to get
Correct.
into.
Yes.
Okay. So you walk up the flight of stairs, which are nice and wooden. It's a very okay carved banister as you walk up. I mean, this guy wasn't rich by any means, but he was, he did do a fair amount of work and solved a number of mysteries. So people rewarded him with cash return and whatnot. And at the top of the stairs where the bathroom is, the bathroom looks quite nice. Obviously, he took very good care of the things that he had in his home. The master room, as you turn the corner to the bathroom and kind of walk down the hall in the opposite direction a little bit, you'll come to his room. The door is swung wide open, and you can just walk right in. As you do, you'll notice an old style. Not have a canopy. It's just big, tall four posters with nice sheets on there. The bed has been made. The The dust skirt is also on the bed, so you can't see underneath of it without lifting it up. There is a spot for his closet, which has a door that is shut. He also has a dresser that is small, more of a vanity than a dresser. There is a small mirror to be able to look and groom himself in. He also has a coat rack that has a number of different hats on it in a corner. There is a hardwood floor. Everything is hardwood in this home except for rugs, but he does have a nice plush rug on the floor.
All right. First thing I'm going to do is check under the bed.
Okay. You will look under the bed, and there will be actually a bunch of boxes that he's got kind of shoved under his bed.
Can I take a look in one of the boxes?
You can. When you pull out the box, it's a file case. So you'll pull it out, and it looks like copies of some of the cases that he worked on in the past, which he technically shouldn't have.
Okay.
Interesting.
Looks like a bunch of old reading. Can I take a look in the closet?
You may take a look in the closet. So you open the closet door, and you'll notice immediately a musty smell kind of hits you. Doesn't seem like very often. He keeps it closed when he probably shouldn't, and you'll see a bunch of clothes inside. Some changes of shoes. He's got more than one pair, but mostly it's just clothes, suits, a lot of suits. As he just kind of flit through the rack. There's a couple of things up top, a couple of hat boxes, that sort of thing.
Okay. Can I check behind the coats to see if there's like a hidden space behind the coats? You know, like move the coats out of the way.
Hang on, Zach just texted me.
I just saw it pop up on mine.
Yeah.
And my phone's running out of power. I gotta go grab the power cord.
All right, that's fine. You go do that. Joe, you were asking, or sorry, Donald, you were asking about
Looking behind the coats in the closet.
like at the wall, or what exactly?
I want to see if there's, you know, if there's some sort of a door or something behind the coats, you know.
Oh, no, there doesn't appear to be anything that's obvious and visible.
Okay. All right. Let me go take a look at the dresser, the small dresser beside the bed.
You mean the vanity kind of thing?
Yeah, the vanity dresser, yeah.
Okay, that was more at the foot of the bed. Okay. So it looks like kind of like a typical smallish, vanity / dresser. So there are two connected. I wouldn't say tall. You have to sit down to really look into it. But two taller sections to this vanity, and it's got two drawers, two small drawers in top, and then kind of two bigger drawers on either side. And then in the middle, it kind of sits down a little bit more with a bigger drawer in the center of that.
All right, let's take a look in the big drawer.
The big drawer, or the two on
drawer.
either side? So there's okay. So you open that up, and it looks like a bunch of toiletries. So there's extras for the shaving kit, which you would assume is in the bathroom. There's a hairbrush and stuff like that.
Okay. I'll go ahead and quickly check.
There are also some small bags of things in there as well. Sorry, I'm like juggling Zach and your stuff.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the small drawers on the sides too.
Okay. You'll find a bunch of other stuff as well, similar things.
All right. That was the wrong one. One other thing I want to check in the room real quick. Is there anything stuffed under the mattress of the bed?
Stuffed under the mattress of the bed? Ooh, getting fancy now. 1 sec here. Okay, Zach, how am I going to get you in here?
He's under the bed.
He's in the mattress.
Yeah. Hey, guys! Oh, crap! Alright. Oh, I know, computer, you have to do more than one thing at a time. Alright, we'll see if that works. Anders. Okay, so under the mattress. Okay.
Yep.
You will find something actually.
Oh.
Give me 1 second here. This will be our first roll for flashlights.
Oh boy.
Okie dokie.
Last
So,
D6.
yes. So flashlight. Flashlights and smokes are about getting closer to the truth with the hope that you won't get hurt or blow your cover. They are a usage die, as we talked about in the beginning of the broadcast. An investigator needs to spot, uncover, trip over, research, stumble, recall, or otherwise discover something. That's a flashlight die. In this instance, you roll your flashlight die. If you get a 1 or a 2, you drop the dice size. You might try to search for more information, but when you drop to 1d4 and fail, you've run out of that resource. You can't search or for clues anymore, or maybe the security guy comes around, his torchlight shining bright through the window of the office box room. So that is what that is. So what's interesting about these is you always get a clue. So it doesn't really matter what else happens in the game. As far as that's concerned. It's not like you roll for a search test and maybe you don't find something. It's usually a, yes, you found something, but yes, you did do something, but the resource is running out, or whatever else is happening. So you do find something, but what is your roll for your flashlight?
I rolled a 3.
Cool. So you get to keep your resource. Yay! So what you do find underneath the bed or the mattress is a smaller file, but it appears to have different things in it than the others before. Zach, welcome! Yay!
Hey everybody, sorry I'm so late.
Oh, that's totally okay. We haven't really gotten too much into it. What's happened so far is that the other 3 players who are a friend or family of they were called here to hear the last reading of his will, and he wants them to find a connection to a wealthy philanthropist of the town whose name was Silas Morn, and he wants them to connect Silas to the detective's death. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So you said you were going to play whom?
Jack Talent.
Tell us about Jack.
Alright, as far as the character sheet tells me, I don't know what the class means, but Bruiser I assume is combat based. With his occupation also being soldier. Pretty good stat block unless you expect him to talk to people. I'm not too sure what else to say. I don't really understand
okay.
the character sheet all that well.
Okay, so we'll do a quick breakdown again. So the stats you want to roll under to get things, and they're only as reactions to being attacked either physically or mentally. Oaks and the flashlights are when you're investigating something. when you're actually specifically looking at something to do, not just kind of looking around, but you really want to get information. Flashlights are scholarly stuff, and smokes are social.
And the ammunition rating is
The ammunition rating is a D8 because it is a usage die. So the ammunition, the smokes, and the flashlights are, as I said, the usage die, meaning that when you use something like the revolver, you roll that die, and if you roll a 1 or a 2, the die is reduced to a D6 because I think that the revolver is a D8, right?
Yeah.
it shows D6 here, but
Oh, well then it's a D6. So if you roll a 1 or a 2 on the D6, oh, I'm frozen, am I not? Don't do it. My image is frozen on my voice. Okay.
Keep talking.
Okay. So if you roll a 1 or a 2 on the D6, it drops to a D4. If you roll a 1 or a 2 on the D4, then you have no more shots left.
all right, fair enough.
Okay. And the what is that term? On your attack and damage, your armed versus unarmed is you do a D6 with your revolver or whatever it's listed on. I'm not looking at it right now. D8. There you go. You do a D8 damage to whatever it is you're shooting at.
Okay.
Or if you have like a sword, you would do a D8. So anytime you are armed with an actual weapon, you do a D8. Anytime you used an improvised weapon like a letter opener or whatever, you would do a D6 with that. Or if it's like, fisticuffs, what have you. Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm all caught up.
Cool. All right. So we're there. Okay. As you guys are investigating, and before Jack Hart gets to it, you guys hear a knock on the door. Scares the ever-living daylights out of all of you.
Who knocked?
Melvin Stone. Yeah. Melvin Stone, you are about halfway up the stairs when you hear the knock on the door.
All right. I'm going to turn around and go back down to answer the door.
Okay.
I
you
wonder
answer
who
the door.
could that be?
Yeah. You enter their door to find a young man who is wearing I wouldn't say fatigues because it was post World War One, but he's clearly a soldier. He has returned from abroad, and he's come looking as he introduces himself. He has come looking for his longtime and old friend, Detective Colin Murphy. And now we have 2 Jacks in the party.
Hooray!
We have Jack Talent and Jack Hart. And they're both brawlers, because I think the PI is a brawler, right?
I'm a brawler.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So, Melvin, you see Jack Talent sitting on the doorstep. What do you guys do?
Who the hell are you?
Hello, I'm Mr. Talent. I'm looking for my friend. I was told he was here.
Who's your friend?
Detective. I have his business card somewhere. It's got to be in my jacket somewhere.
Colin Murphy.
That's what the card says.
Colin Murphy?
Yes.
I hate to break it to you, son, but Mr. Murphy ain't here.
Is he just out, or?
No. He's dead.
Now, that's not what I was expecting. Who all are you?
Has
My
anyone
name-
else come down the stairs at this point?
I'm in the attic.
Fair enough.
Melvin
You would have heard the
Stone.
knock.
Well, I
No.
have this small file that I'm like enthralled with trying to figure out what it's about still upstairs. One
Okay.
I found hidden. So I'm going to grab one of Colin's hats off of his hat rack. I'm going to head down the stairs.
Okay.
Is it one of those nice fedoras?
It is a nice fedora.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Because fedoras are friggin' amazing. That's why I have two. Like actual real fedoras, not those tiny little like hipster ones. No, like a legit fedora.
So I grabbed
is
one of the hats
awesome.
and I'm heading down the stairs.
Okay, sounds good. I should wear red. I should go get it right now, but I'm not going to. All right. Back to the interaction between Melvin and Jack. Jack Talent.
I'm still trying to inquire why they're in my apparently deceased friend's house.
We were wondering if you could tell us anything about him.
Nick, what do I know about the guy? I mean, I'm his friend, but do I know him super well, or is he just like a drinking buddy?
Pretty much. That you were an ex-cop before the war started. He was into you at the precinct, and you guys, went out for drinks fairly regularly. But it's not like you invited each other over for dinner every night or something like that. So you were back in town from being overseas, and having done some other things since the end of the war, because it ended. Since I said this is kind of the late 20s, it's been about 10 years or so since you've seen him, and you're coming to check up on your old buddy. You're back in town after having done whatever you decided to do for that time, and maybe you're coming back to see if you can rejoin the precinct or go out for another drink, what have you. That's up to you. But your loose acquaintances, that he has been a quite successful detective. You helped work a couple of his cases in the past. And that has been it. But you've been gone a while, and quite a bit has changed in the town.
That is what I convey then. I haven't seen him in a while, since before the war when we worked together. Just dropping in to catch up. And he's dead, though. Just, again, really distressing. Do we happen to know how? Was he run over by a carriage, or a bad swimming
Tammy's
accident?
talking to you.
I don't actually know.
Oh. Why are you here? Are you with someone else?
Well, he was an old friend of mine.
Okay.
As you stand on the doorstep, you hear some rustling upstairs. Some people are banging things around quite a bit.
So you're not alone then?
No, we got a couple of associates of mine.
Okay.
They're upstairs looking around for some clues as to what happened to Colin.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Huh.
You mind if I help then, I suppose?
You could do some poking around.
Well, my original plans for tonight are shot anyway, so.
Try not to make a mess.
I'll try.
It's just a great exchange. Knock on the door. Hey, your friend's been murdered. All right, well, I got nothing else to do now. Let's solve a murder. That's just awesome. Okay.
Watched a lot of people die. Not new to me.
Okay, so as you follow Melvin back up the stairs and I don't know, talk about your experience or do whatever, we will cut to the other Jack, Jack Hart, his way up to the attic. As I said, it was late evening when you guys started, or I believe I said early evening. It is about kind of midway through the evening now. It's getting quite a bit darker. You can still see up in the attic without having to light a match or anything, but it's getting, everything's getting kind of dark and shadowy. So you can decide if you want to get a lantern. You found one in the house earlier. You can go back and get it if you want, or you can try to find whatever else it is in eyesight that you have.
I'll go get the lantern.
Okay. All right, so you come back down the stairs, and as I said, the pull down stair drop is about halfway through the master and the guest room. So as you come down, you see Melvin Stone coming up the stairs with Jack Talent behind him.
Oh my. Who's the new guy?
Some kid says he knew Colin.
I used to work with him a few years ago before the war. Really shitty to hear that he's deceased, but I was coming in town to catch up, have a few drinks with him. Figured I could at least help.
Well, you just missed the will being read.
Oh, I really doubt I was in there.
We didn't get anything.
That's not true. You got a key.
No, but was he? Do you know if he was investigating anything dangerous right before he died? I mean, you lost contact with him recently. You said.
I haven't heard from him for going on 10 years. Again, since before the war, I haven't spoken to him.
Donald Anders, you are hearing this conversation from inside the room that you are currently in.
Well, I'm gonna go get a lantern and check out the attic.
I'll tag along.
Cool.
Well, guys, you wouldn't believe what I just found.
What?
I was digging through his room and trying to, think like you would think. Stuffed underneath, inside the mattress was a special little file.
What's it say?
I don't know what it says. I haven't even opened it up yet.
Well, let's take a look.
What is that creepy banging? That was like perfect sound, but like so not at the right time.
Probably.
That would be my washing assistant.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you guys take a peek inside the file, and you'll notice right away, which is what kind of drew Donald Anders to continue to look at it, a number of grisly pictures of murder scenes. The victims appear to have several things missing from their bodies in very extreme and bloody ways. There are notes written in the hand of Colin describing the scenes and the particular pieces of the bodies that are missing from where they should be, and coroner reports and things like that. Seems like he was trying to make a case about something. There doesn't seem to be any connection that he makes. How long do you guys want to take looking over these notes and pictures and things?
Not long.
Okay.
It shouldn't take too long to look at these pictures. So.
Well, there's more than pictures. Like it's a stack of stuff. It's papers, his notes, his handwriting, his thoughts on it, and whatnot. Okay, so we will take the two jacks. Now that they have a lantern, and you guys make it up the stairs. So your light spills out into the attic, and at first it seems like these giant, gnarly, twisted shapes kind of loom in over top of you. The darkness kind of creeping and then spreads out as the lantern gets into further view of what's up here. There seems to be a mannequin of some sort for some reason in his attic. There's a bunch of boxes, some crates full of stuff. A mouse squeaks and runs away as you traipse up the stairs.
I traipse, huh?
You do. You traipse. Saunter. Mince.
Gallivant.
The Calavant.
Too bad it was only 2 seasons.
It's true.
And so, what do we see in here?
Storage.
Storage.
He's got storage boxes and things up here.
And anything of note?
What are you going to do? Are you going to actually search in the boxes, or?
I'm going to search some of the boxes, yeah.
Okay. Roll me a flashlight, then, Monseigneur.
Okay. Yeah, 2.
Nice.
I'm out of clues, but
You're already out of clues.
I'm
Nice.
already.
Okay. You find kind of deep hidden underneath a number of wooden crates as you pick them up and dust them off, and sneeze a few times. You start digging through one crate that's full of wooden shavings to kind of insulate the package. There's a wooden, not a wooden, a stone. I wouldn't say slab, but kind of like a stone cylinder, sort of like a big egg, with a symbol drawn on it. As soon as I can remember which one I was using, because I drew like 30 of them here. For other games. All right, I think it was that one that I was using. All right. So you see this symbol drawn on the egg, etched into the stone.
Can you show me that again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
The stone itself. What was that?
I was going to talk to the other Jack. You ever seen this before?
No. Interesting little curio, though.
Yeah.
So the stone itself is weighs more than you think it should, and it seems to be entirely smooth. You can't feel any rough edges on it. Even in the letters, they don't feel rough, but they look like they should. It appears to be made out of some quartz-like crystalline material, but there are flecks of other things in them that make it sparkle as the light hits it. Quite dramatically, as you see bits of light reflected onto the walls from just your small little lantern.
Quite pretty, but I don't see how it's relevant.
Well, let's hang on to it.
May as well.
Where's my character this whole time?
I don't know. You didn't say.
I'm gonna assume I didn't follow them up into the attic because the two of them went upstairs, right?
Right. Well, the four of you had a little powwow when Donald came out with his file full of grisly murders, and that was the last you guys had a turn while the other two went up to the attic. So we can cut back to the two of you. What are you two doing while the others search the attic?
Well, I know there's still one more room, the guest room, to look through, and we still haven't seen any sign of where Colin was murdered, or where he died in this building.
That you're aware of, correct?
Right. So I want to take a look in the guest room.
Well, you've got other rooms to check too. I mean, I said there's the kitchen and the mudroom that nobody's looked in,
and the bathroom.
Die like the king, doing his last kingly duty on the pot.
Duty.
Yeah. Haha. Sorry, I totally just distracted myself. Okay, so you want to go search the other guest room? Is that what I'm saying?
Correct.
Okay. So you squeeze your way past the stairs as they are kind of traipsing up, and it's getting pretty dark now. So the room is a lot darker than it was. There is a lantern in this room because it is a guest room. We tried to make sure everybody had their basic needs covered while staying in this room. furnished is the word I was looking for. There is a small bed, a single chair. There are no mirrors. There's no vanity. There's a small dresser, and that's pretty much it. Really, there isn't a closet or anything like that. There is a coat rack that's empty, hanging in a corner. It's modest, but it's not horrid. And there's a nice rug on the floor to try and soak up some of the sound and other things. But it's a very plain wallpaper that he's got on the walls.
It's pretty boring in here. I'm gonna go over and check under the mattress just for fun because it worked in the other room.
Okay, you look under the mattress and find wooden slates, just where the mattress is sitting on top of it.
Anything under the bed?
No, the bed appears to be empty, or underneath the bed appears to be empty. The bed is empty itself. It's just a discussion. No, there doesn't appear to be really anything worth a note in the guest room.
All right, I'm gonna head back to the master where I found the file, and I'm gonna take a look. The mirror's just bugging me because there's the mirror in that room, and he's a guy. Why would he need the mirror?
Some guys like to look at themselves in the mirror.
Not my relative.
Not your relatives. All right, Melvin, what are you doing while Donald goes off to kind of wander around in the opposite bedroom?
I'm gonna head toward the kitchen.
Okay, so you're going to go back down the stairs and head towards the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Jack and Jack, what are you doing while you guys here stomping around below you?
Probably taking a dig around in some more of these boxes. Just hovering. Maybe there's more on this case he was maybe working on that got him in so much trouble up here. Who knows?
Okay, you'll find a bunch of old newspapers and stuff. Some of the things that he did seems like he was saving the newspaper's interpretation of his cases, in addition to other garbage and junk you would find in an old attic. Instead of kind of moth-eaten and whatnot, you'll find the mouse's nest, and it's got some baby mice in it. So you find lots of other disgusting things, but nothing else worth of note that you have found.
Okay.
So the two Jacks, what is your current plan?
Head back downstairs and see what everyone else found. That's my plan.
Okay. Okay. Donald, what are you doing after your expedition to your room? You're muted.
I'm gonna start heading downstairs with the rest of the guys.
Okay. All right. So, Melvin, you have walked down the stairs ahead of the rest of your crew and are looking into the kitchen area. You will hear them start to come down the stairs as you enter into the kitchen. It's quite a plain kitchen. There's a small table that's kind of pushed off to one side. The floor in here is actually tile, not hardwood. And the counters are wood themselves. There is one small sink, and he does have an ice box, which is not necessarily common during this time period. It's not like nobody had them, but some people did. And that's pretty much what you'll see. Kitchen things, those pots hanging from the ceiling that he can cook with, and there's for cooking, and there's drawers and there's cabinets and the kind of thing that you would find in any kitchen. But it's modestly decorated. Doesn't look like he spent a lot of time here.
Is there a door anywhere?
Yes. So as you walk into the kitchen, off to the right is a door that leads to the back area, which isn't really a yard, but it kind of leads to a little bit of a grassy area, and then beyond that is a bit of an alleyway. off to which is where also I said the left is where the mud room is. So there's another door that leads into the mud room that leads from the alleyway as well. So he's kind of got two entrances. Into one goes straight into the kitchen, and the other one goes into a mud room, which is the door from the kitchen to the mud room. It seems like there's also some storage in here for canned goods and things like that.
Melvin's gonna take the back door. Open it for right now.
The one off the kitchen or the one into the mud room?
The one off the kitchen.
Okay. So you're going to walk down into the yard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other three of you, the two Jacks and Donald, will, as you get down the stairs and kind of turn the corner, you will see Melvin kind of walk out, hear a door open, and some walking down the stairs as he goes. But you are the three of you in a group currently, and it is now dark outside, so it is night.
Wow, lost a lot of time.
Big attic.
Yeah.
And Melvin is apparently banging on everything that's outside. All right. So what's the game plan? What are you guys doing?
Well, like I said, Melvin has opened the door, so he sees the back area.
I'm going to go look in the mud room.
Okay, because I thought you were going outside, Tim. Are you just looking outside?
Right now, yeah.
Okay. So you won't actually see a whole lot. I don't think you brought a light with you, so it's just really dark. There are some lights that shine out from other people's homes and things, but you don't really see that much going on. A big, small bit of grass that leads out into a back alleyway. Donald, you walk into the mud room and you will notice some glass jars of canned goods. There are also what's the word I'm looking for? Not curtains necessarily, but things on the windows that you can pull down to block out the light and the heat to make sure that the food doesn't spoil inside their cans. Pretty well insulated. So when you walk in, it looks really, really dark.
It's just food storage.
Yeah, looks like it. All right. Any other rules?
No, I think you got them all. Unless somebody wants to visit the bathroom.
No, I don't think anyone went to the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not midnight, but it's it's early evening, it's dark outside, so say about 6-ish. Since it's fall, so it's getting dark earlier. Well, let's say 7. Let's just go push back to 7. Okay. So it's 7 o'clock. It's dark. You guys came here early evening, so we'll say 4-ish. So you've been here about 3 hours investigating this house. For talent who just showed up not that long ago.
And the bank's now closed, so we can't really check out what this key opens.
Correct.
So should we stay here the night or go to our own places?
Well, I suppose I'll have to go get a hotel or something.
Well, the other Jack and Donald are his nearest next of kin, so they kind of own the house.
I had dibs on the guest room.
Fine, I take the master bedroom then. There's enough couches for everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's plenty of space to conk out in the sitting room.
Well, if you fellas wouldn't mind, I could do the rest.
Is that the plan? To
Stay the night here, then go to the bank first thing tomorrow.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, Melvin Stone, are you also doing this, or is he gone at the moment?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
Your
picture was off. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I had to set the phone down for a minute.
That's okay.
Otherwise, you'd have a great view of my nostrils.
Woo! I love stirring up people's noses. It makes me happy inside.
Yeah, like I said, I'm playing this off my phone right now, and the batteries are
That's
very slowly recharging.
Woo! All right. So, are you spending the night with the other three?
Yeah. Sitting room. I guess I'm just gonna pull a couple of the crash on the sofa.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, sounds good. So you guys lock up the house, I assume. Also.
Oh yeah.
Probably shouldn't say. Okay. So you make sure the house is nice and secure, and you guys go to bed for the night. There doesn't appear to be any bump or bruises throughout the night. Nobody has any wicked visions of anything nasty that you're aware of. And you wake up to an early morning. Somebody has a rooster in the neighborhood, so it wakes you all up at a decent hour. Just whatever you guys want to do from there.
What do you say, guys? We'll check out the bank.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
Since it's light out, I want to give the backyard another look.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Anything out of the ordinary?
Not as far as you can tell. There looks like he's got a small couple of boxes that he's made to grow some a small garden in. So he's got some fresh vegetables and things to grow. It looks like it needs to be harvested. So there's fresh fruits and stuff out, or not fruits, but vegetables and things outside for people to partake. And that's pretty much it.
All right. I guess
Okay.
I'll head over to the bank.
Okie. All right. So as a group, you guys, do you want to walk over, take a carriage?
I'll walk. The exercise won't kill me.
Or are you all agreed?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Otherwise, somebody would have to pay for it. Okay. So all of you walk. So it takes about, I would say, an hour or so at a slow gentleman's pace to walk along the streets. It's not exactly a busy town. It's a normal work day. But it's, it has a fair amount of hustle and bustle. A new ship has come in, so people are unloading things, and you see trucks coming back and forth to pick up the stuff from their shipments. The butcher and some people who sell furniture and things like that. And you will make it to the bank pretty early. They will let you into the back vault without much of an issue. Show them the key and let them know what happened. They will express their condolences and leave you to your investigation.
So do they give us the box, or we have to grab the box ourselves?
They will pull it down.
Okay. Shall we look inside the box, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's open the
Of course,
box.
that's why we came.
Okay. The first thing you notice as you open this box, and it's not a very big one, it's about yay big, you'll see only one thing, and it is a matchbook.
Huh.
However, in the bottom of the box, you will notice this symbol. Are you ready to get that? No.
Do
Okay,
it
I'll
one
do it
more
again.
time.
Wow. That's why you have to have the sound too. You will see that symbol etched into the bottom of the box.
Hmm. It's not the same symbol as the one we found on the stone egg thing.
Nope.
Triangular.
Wait. You saw another symbol?
Yes, on a stone up in the attic. Glittery little thing.
What stone?
Jack took with him, so Jack should have it.
It's in the car or whatever.
The car that you guys didn't take.
I don't know. It's kind of heavy to lug around with me, so it's back at the house. It's
What's on the
surprisingly-
matchbook?
It just looks like a regular book of matches, but it has the name of the establishment called the Blind Pig. But it's got 4 matches missing from the total amount. It doesn't look like he's written on anything on it. It doesn't seem to have anything else.
But it has the Blind Pig establishment.
Right.
Okay.
Can I see that symbol again?
Yes.
Just real quick so I can copy it down. What's that shape in the middle of it?
It's sort of like a messy circle with a dot in the center.
Okay, hold on, let me see. Alright, I think I got it.
Right.
So that's all that's in this box, guys.
So the what pig?
The Blind Pig.
Blind pig. Sounds like a fun joint.
No, it's a direction to go, I guess.
Does anyone know where that is relative to here?
Someone around here has to know.
I mean, one of us. Have I been there? I've been there.
One of us. One of us. No, because you're from New York and this isn't in New York.
True. Yeah. Okay. Well.
So I'm going to ask
And,
someone that works at the bank here if they've heard of the Blind Pig.
you will find one of the vault wardens, we'll say, or all of them actually, in the back. And when you ask them, they look a little questioningly at each other at first, and then say, "No, of course we don't." And I need you to roll me a smoke.
Oh boy, how come I'm getting all this stuff? That's
Because
awesome.
you're the one asking the right questions.
Hey, I did it once.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a D10. And a 3 again.
Well, it's not a 1 or a 2. You're good to go.
That's right.
So what do you decide to do?
So they're claiming they don't know about the blind pig?
They look suspiciously at each other as you ask about it. So they very well, who knows?
Is there such thing as
Covering it
insight
up?
checks at this game?
No, but their action is giving a hint.
All right. I'm gonna pull one of the guys to the side and say, "Listen, I work at a bar and I really heard that the blind pig's a really good place to go."
He looks a little aghast at first, because knowing American history, this is the time during Prohibition. So
Right, but
you just told him that you work.
yeah, but I've let them know. That's why I pulled them aside to let them know that I work at one of those type establishments.
Okay. He'll look a little squirrely at first and kind of stumble around, but he'll let you know that it is a speakeasy, and give you the location. By the way, the just as a side note, speakeasies were also called blind pigs. So
Hmm.
Man,
Wow.
that's really on the nose.
do what?
Man, those fellas really aren't ducking the police very well. Or they're ducking the police really well.
Well, what your detective had alcohol during Prohibition era in his home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not
If
surprising.
nobody else got that. I know, right? Okay. So I would assume that you guys are going to go there next. Am I correct?
Oh, of
Since it
course.
seems to be the only other clue that you guys have really picked up on. Okay. So, you guys will find your location to the blind pig. And it is a metal reinforced door with a sliding, like you see in so many stereotypical movies. And you knock on the door. You guys knock on the door, the guy opens it up, and he goes, "What do you want?"
I would like entrance into your establishment.
Well said.
Ain't no establishment here.
I draw the symbol that I saw on the inside of the box and show him that symbol.
He'll kind of glare at you a little bit, a little suspiciously, but then he'll actually open the door and let you in. And he'll kind of give you a mildly ironic "Welcome to the blind pig" as you walk through. So you guys walk into this dark hallway. Even though it's light of day, they've got it all nice and darkened. And it's about, I don't know, 20 feet long before you get to a set of stairs that goes down into, actually, it's a door before a set of stairs. So you walk through another door, and it leads you down to a set of stairs where it's just full of smoke and laughter and jazz and the obvious stench of alcohol. And then a few other smells that you're not quite sure how to identify.
Reefer cigarettes.
Among other things. Yes, but did you guys smell that weed?
No.
Never forget that.
I don't know what that smells like. Mom?
I know, right? Your own mother. Did you guys smell that weed? It's great. How would you know, Mom? What that smells like? Oh, that's good stuff. We were at a beach and somebody was smoking weed in the public bathroom. Yeah. So not us, by the way. Anyway, okay. So you guys walk into the speakeasy and you're hit by all that, the smoke and the other smells. There's a lady currently singing a nice slow croon, and you'll see just a bunch of people. This place is just packed.
Well, I try to grab a table.
Okay. it'll take some time. People are pretty busy. There are a fair amount of people who schmoozing and attempting to coerce each other into more nefarious acts. And after 20 minutes or so, you'll manage to be able to snake a table for the 4 of you to fit in. So during this time period, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm going up to the bar.
Okay.
Or the counter. And I'm going to ask the barkeep if he knows Colin.
He'll say, "Yeah, I knew Detective Murphy. He used to visit pretty regularly." As you look around as you're talking, you notice that symbol on a couple of the bottles. And it is a label called the Yellow Sign. It is a yellow label on the bottle. The liquid itself is also yellow. And as you look around when you're talking, you'll notice that there are some notices for a play that is also called the Yellow Sign with that symbol on it that will be showing in this town in the next 2 months.
The Yellow Sign.
Okay, so you will notice that your friends, Jack and Melvin, are sitting at a table. It's kind of looking around or doing whatever else. What are you guys doing in the meantime, while Donald is at the bar?
Just soaking in the ambience.
Okay. As you do so, you will notice a man as a judge comes walking down the stairs with a girl who is not his wife in his arms linked as he comes down the stairs. There will be some people ushered away from a spot he normally sits in, and a couple of men will stand nearby him and his lady friend.
All right, I'm going to ask the barkeep for some bourbons. I'm going to go sit down with my friends.
Right, sounds good. So your friend Donald shows up with 3 bourbons for Melvin, Jack, and Jack. And you guys sit there and miss your drinks for a bit, listen to the music. What else do you want to do?
So while they're sitting there, I'm going to say, hey, have you guys noticed these bottles? With the symbol right on the bottles?
Yeah. A lot of strange stuff in here.
No, but those symbols are also the same. The bottles are called the Yellow Sign, and that's the exact same thing as just stuff for the play.
Yep, maybe they like the theme.
Jack Talent, you will notice as you kind of look after this judge that as he's there for a while, there was a man who was at his table. He gets up and he leaves through a back area. He doesn't leave up through the stairs. He walks through. It's not quite the same area where the back of the stage would be, but it appears to be a heavily curtained exit. And he seems to be leaving in a fair amount of a hurry.
He probably has judiciary things to deal with. Or whatnot. Any suggestions, fellas, on how we actually go about seeing if our good detective's even been here?
Well, he has been here.
Sorry,
didn't I tell you guys that? I was talking to the barkeep.
What are you here for?
Well, obviously, this is where everyone who's important shows up. If we got the judge here also.
If you were going to ask questions, this would be a place to poke around, I guess.
Are you going to dare ask the judge while he has this lady friend with him?
Certainly not. I don't want to get my ass kicked by his bodyguards.
Exactly. So I'm thinking that guy that took off in a hurry through the curtain, we should probably follow him. Because he's going off by himself.
Yeah, maybe he knows something.
That's what I'm thinking.
I hope that curtain doesn't lead to the can, though.
Well, even better.
We can corner him in the urinals. Perfect. Let's go.
And gang beat him in the bathroom.
No, this is more the awkward social pressure, so he wants to answer in a hurry.
Just walk up to him and say, "So how long?"
Just stare at him. Don't ask him.
I do that in the bathroom.
Don't
I
ask
do that
him.
in the bathroom sometimes at work just to make people awkward.
Just give him one of these.
Yeah. Don't do that. Yes, the slow. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you guys get up, and it's a pretty crowded area, so you guys kind of have to, politely push people to kind of wade through them to get them out of your area. You bump into one table, really skittish when you do, and he goes, "Oh, be careful!" And as he turns his neck, you actually see, we'll say, Jack Talent. You notice your keen soldier eye, so you need to roll me let's call this one a flashlight test.
Okey-dokey. Yeah, I'm not great at that. Die for it is.
Oh.
Yeah, unless it's a gun, I've got die fours. Of which I rolled a 4.
Oh,
Okay.
you lucked out.
So you managed to keep the flashlight, so you can still notice things. But you notice that on his neck is a small tattoo that is 51745. You are the only one that sees this. Yes, 51745.
Okay.
So are you the only one that sees this, as the others kind of trundled off, and the guy goes back to his drink a bit. But as you turn back over your shoulder and look, he gets up and he walks up the stairs.
Interesting. Wonder where he's off to. We're probably going to tail him then.
So are you splitting the party again?
No, I'll go with him. If he says something, he doesn't just run off.
Yeah,
Well,
there were two directions that. What?
I do mention that. I do quickly mention that guy looks suspicious, and I'm going to follow him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with him.
Okay. So are we abandoning following the other guy and going up the stairs?
Yeah. Those will be in groups of 2, right?
Sorry, what was that?
So we'll be 2 groups of 2, right?
Right, that's what I'm asking. Is that the plan, or are you all following after this guy?
No, that sounds like that should be the plan.
Okay, well, the other two guys need to chime in on that one.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we will go with Melvin, Stone, and Donald. Anders first, and then the 2 Jacks next.
2 Jacks.
Yeah. Okay. So Melvin and Donald, you turn around and head up the stairs to follow the other. No. You guys are going through the curtain.
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of walk up and through the curtain, and nobody is there to stop you. The curtain itself is filled with designs straight out of the Orient, and beyond it, there are also a set of a curtain of beads that
Nice.
you walk through. Yeah, you gotta have the beads, man. That you walk through, and as soon as you do, you're hit by that other smell that you couldn't quite identify, and through a darkened series of hallways, you'll find a set of doors that start to crop up, and they're the paper kind of doors that you would find in like Japan, for example. Definitely. Some of them being opened, you'll notice people with like giant kind of hookah things, and they're just totally just laying there. They are definitely high off of something.
An opium.
Yeah, well, you can't have the Nike Tonys without an opium den. So you will see a bunch of people there. You'll see a lot of people of the Asian persuasion. They're getting lit off their opium, and a few other people that should have a lot of money by their what appeared to be at first fine clothes, but they look like they've been pretty scratched up and like they've been here a while. Where am I? Eventually, you will have a small Asian person walk up to you and ask you to which room. I'm not even going to try an Asian accent. Tim, you can do it all you want if you want, since you are, actually, half Japanese. It's Japanese, right? Your mom was Japanese?
Yes.
Yeah, see. Haha, got it right. Okay. Every time I try and do it like an Asian accent, I sound super racist, so I'm not going to do that. They will come up to you and say, "To which room do you prefer to enter? We have a number of fine and empty rooms."
Do you have the yellow room?
Pardon?
The yellow room?
You want the yellow room?
Yes.
That could possibly be arranged. And he'll turn around and swiftly walk again, and you will not, though his feet move, hear the swishing of his sandals. And we will cut back to Jax as they walk up the stairs. So you will exit this establishment as you attempt to chase after this individual, and though it is broad daylight, you will see him just turn a corner as you guys walk up and leave off to the left down the street.
Run after him.
Yeah, crap. All right, I'm after him.
Yeah, we'll run after him.
Okay. So you guys take off running down the street. When you turn the corner, you'll see that he turned the corner down into a busier street. You do know what the back of his head looks like, so you're able to kind of track him through the crowd. He's kind of a short, swarthy fellow, but you're able to kind of keep track of him periodically as you guys do your best to push through the crowd. At one point, he stops for a bit, and he kind of looks around to see, honestly, to see if anybody's following him. So what do you guys do when he appears to do that?
Try to play it cool.
Make it look like we're not
doing what?
winded from running after him.
As long as you guys don't pretend to make out with each other like they do in like every movie with like the guy and the girl movie, they do that all the time. They're like, "Oh," and start like making out to make it look like they're not chasing the person they're after. Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so he successfully believes that he is not being followed, and he turns down a back alleyway.
Okay, continue to follow.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay, so you guys follow him into this alley. It is rather tight fit. You guys cannot walk side by side, but it's not tight enough that you guys can't like see past each other. So it's more like a person and half in width, if you will. And it's long, and there's lots of clotheslines is the word I was looking for, in between these buildings as it goes up. And they're pretty large buildings. They're like New York high, but they're a pretty decent size up. About say halfway through the alley before it looks like it turns a corner, about 100 feet down. So about 50 feet in front of you, you'll see this what you interpret as this guy, since he's the only one you saw go down this alley. Looks like he's squatting behind some wooden crates that are set in the alleyway. And you see his back and part of his bum as he is squatting there, but not taking a crap. Not that kind of squatting.
Oh, good.
That's what I was afraid he was.
You walk up onto a guy. You walk up on him, totally taking a crap. He's, I just had to go.
No, he was in a
That
hurry.
actually
He was
happened
looking
by
for a place to
mission.
go.
We ran into a lady who was crapping on the sidewalk, like right on the sidewalk.
Nice. Yeah, people do weird things. Okay, so what are you guys doing?
Approach him, I guess.
Yeah, I come in from behind just to...
You are approaching him, or you guess you're approaching him?
I am approaching him, I guess. I can't think of anything. I'm gonna.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Like nonchalant, I guess. Not like I'm necessarily in there for him.
Okay. So you'll, as you approach him, and you continue to walk down this alleyway, and your feet splash in the refuse that people dump out their windows. You notice he is unmoving. He doesn't seem to be flinching. It doesn't look like he's digging around for anything either. He just appears to be squatting there. He's still behind the wooden crates as you walk up, but it doesn't look like he's jumping up to look at you or bending over to peer at you or anything like that.
What's the matter with him?
Quite a bit, I'm sure.
And with that, we will cut back to Melvin and Donald. Okay. Eventually, after about a half-hour wait of you guys just kind of standing there, the attendant that talked to you before will return and will say, "Your room is ready." You will start to shuffle down the hallway once again, but once, as before, his feet do not make a sound as he goes. Even though he's wearing the little wooden sandals I can't remember the name of. Gatas. Right?
Yeah, he's light on his feet.
You will be seen to this back room, and like many rooms in Japan. It steps up into a wooden platform where there is a small table that you sit on. The apparatus that is used to smoke the opiates is there in the middle of the table. There are a number of I can't think of the name of anything today. The thing you suck on. God, I can't even remember the name of it. Anyway, there's the what?
A hookah?
Yeah. The specific thing on the hookah that you're actually sucking out of. I can't remember the name of it. I used to know all the names to all the pieces, but I don't.
And how would
remember
you
them
know that,
anymore.
Nicholas?
Not all my friends are very savory people, Tim. Yeah, I was that kid. Anyway, I mean, they're all good guys, but not all of them had great hobbies. Anyway. Yes,
so that's what it is now, a hobby.
Yeah, I mean,
Tim,
the state of the union that I live in currently, it is a hobby here. Legally. Anyway, where was I talking? So the hookah has 4 of the smoky, dry things that you actually smoke the stuff out of. Because I don't know, I actually don't remember how you smoke opiates, but I'm assuming that's how it works. So yeah, the room is yellow, but unlike some of the other rooms that you guys walked past, there is a screen that you have beyond that, and you guys are led beyond any of the other rooms. So you seem to be like a good 50 feet away from the other rooms. You're led down this solid wooden hallway into the back yellow room, and are introduced to this substance.
All right, I didn't think that'd work.
And as you remove your shoes to sit on this platform, she will be with you in a moment, and he'll scuttle away.
Did he say she?
He did say she. And we'll cut back to the Jack.
Man.
So Jack and Jack, what are you doing?
Trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with this dude.
We'll just say, like, I'll just say, hey, you.
There is no response.
Hey, buddy.
I will approach him closer then, I guess.
Okay.
He will to shake him on the shoulder or something like that.
As you go to move, you bump him, and he falls over. First of all, and something comes rolling of his head.
Oh.
And his mind has been scattered upon the ground, we shall say.
Well, that's surprising.
Oh, that's not good. Hard to say what could have. It looks like his head was bashed in.
No, it looks like the top of his scalp and skull were surgically removed with precision.
Wow, that was fast considering we just saw him.
Well, grab his wallet, quick.
Take his shoes.
No, shit, we should get the police. Man, this guy's head taken off. Well, the top half, but still.
How do we know the police didn't do this? I'm gonna grab his wallet.
Okay.
All right.
And then run.
Shit! I also run.
Run in which direction? I mean, there's down the alleyway, but behind you. We're right, but Jack Hart is behind you, or Jack Talent is behind you, so you're gonna have to like try and squeeze awkwardly past him because it's like.
I'm telling him to run.
Go.
Okay, running.
Okay. Okay, where's your destination?
Away.
Yeah, away, a couple streets down, and then I'm gonna look in the wallet and see who this guy is.
Okay, which means I actually need to come up with a name for him because I apparently didn't. We will call him. Yeah. Would that'd be freaking creepy. What is his name gonna be? Hold on. We are going to call him. No, that wouldn't really be. Darn, you made me think.
I think we broke him.
No, I don't know. I should have come up with a name, and I usually do. I don't know why I didn't have one for this guy.
Guy Thompson.
Fred Meyer.
Guy. We will call him Guy. Guy Florence.
Oh my. Uh-huh.
That's right. He is French, or was French.
He's a
So
French
you see that his name. Do what?
He's a French corpse.
Yeah. Yeah. And he does have some American money, but also some France. Yeah, his wallet or whatever it was they were using in the 1920s, which I thought was the franc.
It's Wale. He's
Wallet. Nice. Okay. He has the matchbook to the speakeasy in his wallet also, and there is a address. So hang on, let me break this down. So he's got some American cash, some Francais. Matchbook. It's a card with an address. All right, and the address. The address is 51 745th Street.
Is there such a place?
There is here.
Wait a moment. That's what was tattooed on his neck.
Yes, it was.
Well, if anyone needs Jack, he's going to be freaking out. He just stole a partially decapitated guy's wallet.
Not the first.
Actually, I should have done that. You guys should have had sanity tests with the guy being dead.
Yeah, we still can.
I was
Yeah.
in the war, and I saw nothing that bad. I saw a guy breathe in mustard gas and plume up and explode. Still not
Yeah,
that bad.
That one made sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew
Okay,
why
so
that happened.
yeah, so sanity. We will talk about it. Sanity represents a character's grip on reality and their senses. A character can never have a higher sanity die than the one they start with, and will certainly risk their sanity on a regular basis. When confronted by situations, and I should have had you guys roll sanity when you found that stupid folder too. See, this is me not knowing how to run a good horror game. Anyway. When confronted by situations likely to dehumanize or loosen the character's sense of the real, roll the die. If the roll is 1 to 2, then the sanity die is downgraded to the next lower die in the standard chain as the usage die. When the sanity die downgrades, the character experiences a moment of temporary insanity. Roll 1d6 to determine the effects, which persist for the remainder of the scene. Or the GM may extend them into the beginning of the next. Okay, so the Jacks need to roll me a sanity test using their sanity usage die. You rolled a what?
I rolled a 2.
Yes!
Oh.
Awesome! Right out of the gate.
Crap.
I also rolled a 2.
Bonus!
Well, I'm guessing my interpretation of his reaction is pretty accurate.
Kind of horror shouldn't be funny. Why are we laughing about this? Like some guy just got like the top of his head cut off, and we're like laughing because they lost their sanity. Oh, you guys are totally screwed.
We're giddy with fear.
Okay, so you lose your whatever sanity die that you had. I think it's a D8 for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your sanity die now gets downgraded to a D6, and I roll on this handy little temporary insanity table, and you guys get to be affected by it, and I get to use my fun new dice that I got from the Kickstarter recently. They're all Viking dice of awesome rudeness. Anyway, okay, so that is a 2, and we will go with Jack Talent first. So you black out. The character passes out or goes rigid and unresponsive. We'll say that you guys ran down this alleyway, and because of the shock of all the running that you've done to chase after this guy, to discover his body, and to run away from the scene of the crime, you just can't handle it anymore. The character has no awareness of anything that happens during this blackout and cannot account for the period. Under stress, any potential loss of sanity for the next scene, the character must test con or blackout again.
Goody.
So, Jack Hart, as you're sitting there, your friend or new acquaintance, all of a sudden passes out
He's
on top of
Yeah.
you.
I could see his brain.
Great sound effects.
Yeah, that was great. Jack Hart loses his. Haha. With delusions, the character cannot make sense of the world and rely on what he knows. He questions everything and likely believes things others cannot see, understand, or agree with. And as your newfound passes out on you, and actually strikes you as he goes down, but not enough to harm, because you kind of grapple him as he goes to make sure he doesn't get hurt. It appears at the end of the alleyway that the person which you just saw headless at the end of this alley that you guys are now hiding on, with a big unearthly smile and sharp pointed teeth in his mouth. And you blink your eyes and he's gone.
Wow.
And we will cut. Yeah, and we will cut back to Melvin and Donald, who are, I'm assuming, trying to figure out whether or not they're going to take a toke on this smoking apparatus.
When in Rome?
It'd be rude not to.
You can.
Not to.
Well,
So you guys gonna get lit
Gotta have to.
on opiates? Woo! Okay, so as you take your first big draw on this hookah for opiates and start coughing it all up, you'll hear a kind of tinkling laughter coming from the screen that is next to you. The door that the attendant has now closed, and it's a rather solid door, not like the other ones that had the Japanese rice paper on them. This one is quiet. It's a nice secluded room, but you do hear kind of that hissing, tinkling laughter coming from that back wall.
I'm gonna go ahead and investigate the wall.
It seems pretty solid. It doesn't look like it slides or moves at all. And then as you're kind of like poking at it and prodding it, you'll hear the strike of a match as it kind of scrapes across the area, and there'll be a kind of light in the background projecting the shadow of a woman onto the screen, and she seems to be moving constantly. Doesn't seem to ever really be still, but she's not dancing. She just always seems to be kind of moving slowly as she talks. She begins, "What has brought you here?"
We're trying to find out about Colin.
Ah, yes, Detective Colin. He came fairly often to our establishment. Though I never met him myself.
And who are you?
More names. I had a name generator. Where did it go? So I didn't have to think about stuff like this.
Oh,
Where
come
are
on.
you?
You have the S's, and she's doing the S's. Come on, it could be an S name.
Oh, I know. But I had a thing to think for me.
how about
Oh.
Chun-Zi?
Sure. What was that again?
She's not Chinese, though. Shit.
It doesn't really matter. I mean,
Okay, I just went with Chun-Zi.
Chun-Li.
So Chun-Li.
Yeah, why
Okay.
not? Get punny.
That'll work. Yeah. Okay, fine then. We'll do that. She goes, "I am Shun-Zi. I am here because you have called me. What is it that you wish to know?
So the guy that brought us here, was he the one that had the numbers on his neck?
No.
Who was that?
No, you came. Yes, the guy that's murdered now. Are you talking about who like physically led you to this room, or why you came here in the first place?
Who physically led us to the room?
No, it was just some attendant that was in the opium den.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was heavily tattooed himself, but it wasn't the one that the other two chased.
Okay, so I guess the proprietor is... I guess we're speaking to him now?
Are you talking to her, or are you just speaking to the general ether?
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Like, who are we talking to right now?
You don't know.
Shun-Si.
You haven't really asked. Yes. So other than her name, you haven't asked her who she is or what she's doing or any of that stuff. So you know her as Shun-Si only.
Okay. Wondering if you knew a name.
So many names.
Does Colin Murphy ring a bell?
You, my friends, need to listen slightly better, methinks. For your friend Donald just answered that question. Asked that question, not answered. She answered. He asked.
I'm sorry, I zoned out for like 5 whole minutes.
It's okay. It's getting late. What is it, like midnight over there?
Yeah. It's midnight and I had a very, very early morning.
Yeah. She had replied to Donald's question that Colin Murphy often attended, but she never met him personally.
Okay. What about Silas Morn?
Ah, Mr. Morn. Silas is a very important man. Who is unaware of him in this town?
Well, apparently I ain't. But apparently he's done quite a bit of charitable work. What I understood.
Yes, Mr. Morn is quite the philanthropist.
Well, was there any bad blood between Silas and Colin?
Oh, don't know what you would call by bad blood, but Detective Murphy often thought that Morn was behind much of what was happening here in this town. But I'm sure you knew that with the letter in your pocket.
How did you know that he had a letter in his pocket?
I know many things. And we'll come back to the two jacks.
Do we have to sanity check that or not?
Not at the moment,
Okay.
I don't
but
know.
I'm remembering it. Right now, she just sounds
probably
kind
still out like a light.
do what?
I'm probably still out like a light.
Yeah. So, Mr. Hart, what is it you are currently doing with your friend that passed out, and you attempt, or you have seen a rather disturbing sight?
I'm going to try to revive my associate.
By doing what?
Smacking him a bit. Not too hard, but like shaking him, like, pull it together! Slightly hysterically.
Okay. Work.
Don't leave me here. Don't leave me alone.
Don't leave me by myself. Okay.
Hope your brain doesn't fall out.
Jack Talent, you wake up. Don't you die on me, soldier!
Oh. Okay. Where the hell are we?
On the street.
The storm? Oh, it's you.
Come on, let's get back to the establishment.
Good idea. Whiskey
I think
sales?
we both need a drink anyway.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okie dokie. Remember, Jack Talent, that if you suffer at any point you might lose sanity, you need to make a contest also to see if you'll black out again. I will endeavor to remember also. Okay, as you guys start to leave this alleyway, Jack Hart, you begin to hear footsteps.
Oh? Alright, I'll look back.
You see nothing. And the footsteps temporarily stop.
Well, I guess I'll walk again.
Okay, and as soon as you begin walking, you begin to hear the footsteps, but mildly closer. Jack Talent, you notice your friend has become slightly skittish and continues to look behind him.
That's understandable.
I'm good with it.
No,
Okay.
no, that makes perfect sense. I would be jumpy too.
Okay. Yeah, you probably are too. Okay.
No,
Okay, so you guys will make it back to the speakeasy. And are you going through the door, or are you just going to kind of stand outside and wait for your friends?
going in, getting a drink.
I need a stiff drink. Okay. So you guys go in and you sit down and find an open seat after a while. Once again, sit down and have your stiff drink and listen to the woman who is singing. She's singing a slightly more upbeat song than the previous lady was. And you guys nurse your drinks after a while. Jack Hart, every now and then you'll get this sense that somebody is watching you specifically, and out of the corner of your eye, it seems like there is a familiar face, and as soon as you turn to look at it, it disappears out of your vision, or it gets obscured by somebody walking past, or a menu raises in front of somebody's face.
Terrific.
And as you sit there in your mild paranoia, after several songs, the singer on stage seems to choke on her words a bit, and she excuses herself and introduces the new act, and then walks behind and goes off stage. And we will cut back to Melvin and Donald. You guys are killing me with the splitting up the party tonight.
Well, we're back. I'm trying to get us back together.
Try to get the band back together, but you're not yet. Melvin and Donald. Melvin and Donald. Joe, you're muted.
Just trying to think where we're at right now. We just found out that she knew that we had the letter in our pocket.
Correct.
Or in our pocket. Okay. What do you know about 51745?
You'll see much of this number in your future.
I've
But
been seeing a
is
bunch
it
of this number in
a
my
number?
past.
And
But is it a
present.
number?
Is it a number?
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Huh?
Flip the number over, guys. Silas.
Cheeky.
We're not upside down, it's regular. It's Silas. 5 SILAS.
How does the 4 look like an A?
Are you thinking the old way of writing a 4, or are you looking at open? Close your 4.
Oh, okay. See, I write my 4s open.
So does everyone else.
Huh.
All right, back to the two jacks. What is it you guys are doing?
I think we're gonna look for our friends. I think they went upstairs, right?
They went behind a particular curtain.
They went behind a curtain. Okay.
You're right.
Well, I'll start looking there then.
Okay. You guys will also enter into the long hallway that is the opium den, and the attendant will look at you and say, "Follow me, your friends are back here."
Oh, that's convenient. Good.
And he will take you down a long passage that's dark and full of other addicts. You see one of them is twitching in the corner, another seems to be foaming at the mouth, one is just laying, staring. And
Yeah,
that
they're having a good
stench, and that stench of unwashed persons and opiates fills the air as he leads you back to a long, dark room. Slides open a door, and the two of your compatriots turn their heads to see you. There's smoke coming out of the top of their opiate apparatus, and they will say, "Yeah." Since you just made that connection, and they weren't expecting you to show up, we'll have Melvin and Donald make a sanity check. As the door opens, they're
Oh, I gotta roll.
Looking for my D8.
Mine's a D8.
Yeah. I rolled a 3.
I rolled a
Dude,
5.
what's with you and threes tonight? Okay. So you
I
guys are
don't
pretty
know.
startled. I know it's like all you've ever rolled. So you guys are pretty startled by the door opening, but not enough to totally trip on your sanity. However, you guys see that the two jacks look pretty rough for wear. As Jack Hart, you still hear the steady drum of footsteps approach behind you.
Yeah, look what the cat dragged in.
And as you kind of look around at the room and see this dark reflection on the screen behind your friends, you think for an instant you see the face of the man that you were following with that same sinister oblong grin that is impossibly large for his face. And then the light behind her winks out, and you guys are only left in the light of the room. Very dark.
So where were you guys?
So we followed a guy.
Yeah, you could say that. Followed.
We caught up to him.
Not
seem
good.
to be having fun.
Yeah, it's been pretty relaxing here.
That's good. That's really good.
You know
Yeah.
that number?
Oh, the guy had that number on his neck.
Yep.
I figured out what that number means.
Yeah?
Yeah. Silas.
Wow.
Never.
I think it's an address, too.
Should we go check out that address?
Yep.
Sure.
All right.
Whatever you'd like to do.
Unless you guys want to take a hit off this first.
Yes, I do.
Definitely.
Yes, please.
I'm not having a good day.
Wait,
This will
what
make
was
it a
the
little
name of
better.
the address?
What's the name of the address? 51745?
51st, 745th Street. Mind blown. Like that one guy.
That's what happened.
Wow.
That was
Too
really
soon,
good.
man. Too soon.
That was dark.
You just got some really bad news.
Okay, and with that one, we will wrap up tonight's story because it's 11, almost 11:30 for me, and 12:30 for some of the other people. And what do we think so far of the Cthulhu Hack? We do have some other Cthulhu games that we will be playing, and I'll see what we can do to try and fiddle more with this story in those scenarios. Because I'm actually having a lot of fun with what I did, even though it was like super on the fly. But what do we think about the Cthulhu Hack so far?
Sanity checks are awesome.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's something that really interested me about the Hack series of games as well. Is that usage die? I don't actually have the Black Hack at the moment. Well, maybe I don't. I don't know. I have to look again. But interested to see what that did with it, because this is just a game based off of that one, and I like to see what the parent game did and instituted it. So it'll be fun to see in the future what we can do with that, and then maybe we'll see if we can play this game further using the Black Hack. Except I think that one's for fantasy, but I don't know. I haven't actually. I don't have it. But we'll also be playing through the Eldritch Tales game in the future, which is an OSR adaptation of Cthulhu material that is currently in playtest. So I had that planned for some time, I think, at the beginning of next year. I also wanted to play through the Cthulhu Dark Ages, which is the medieval version of Call of Cthulhu, printed by Chaosium. So even though it's medieval, not necessarily fantasy, but more medieval setting, I do want to try and tie in this story to that one, and then maybe we can get back to playing Cthulhu Hack again sometime next year, because that'll be fun as well. So tonight, once again, we played Cthulhu Hack. It was a lot of fun. I really like the simple mechanics. You're not making a ton of rolls. It's you describing a bunch of stuff, and the only time you really make rolls is to avoid getting hurt. This time it was all about investigation. We didn't really do any combat. It was all just about trying to figure out what's going on. I hope those who listened enjoyed the story. When comments open up, if they're not already open, feel free to leave comments and suggestions for what we're doing. If you guys have anything you would like to see us do in the future for retro role playing, please let us know. We do have some stuff scheduled. The next 2 months we'll be playing the original D6 Star Wars. So there have been a number of Star Wars games that have come out. The one that is most recent was released by Fantasy Flight Games, which I have the demo version of the last set, the Force and Destiny. But we'll be playing the original by West End Games over the next 2 months, because it's a friggin' awesome game. I love the D6 Star Wars game. It's so much fun. But we'll be playing that one in the future, and I hope you join us for that. This is Retro Role Playing. We played the Cthulhu Hack, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks, and as always, happy gaming. If I see, might activate my mouse.